try get this on. Through it right here. Very easy. There we go. Looks pretty good. Here we are with our first beam in place. So this feels pretty nice and snug. If I do this, the whole van shakes. But I'm thinking this is pretty secure. I just need to repeat this another 4-ish times. I don't think I'll be putting any over there. If I put cabinets up there, I'll probably put rib nuts in the metal frame and just rib nut or bolt the cabinets themselves straight into the rib nuts, and I won't bother with a structural beam like this. If I do put in a structural beam, it'll be very small. It won't be like the long ones that I plan on putting in here. This is annoying because it's a lot of trial and error. It's hard to space out the holes for the bolts correctly and do it correctly. So I'm just going to repeat this a few times and I'll be back once I'm done. And here we are. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of my horizontal studs in place now. These are pretty firm. They do not move much of at all. They feel pretty strong. I'm pretty happy with these. They're very lightweight too. They don't weigh very much. They're not like a normal 2x4 that I think is pretty heavy. These are actually 1x4s, not 2x4s. The actual dimensionality of them is 0.75 inches by 3.5, not 1 inch by 4 inches. Just like how a 2x4 is actually 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches. But I'm pretty happy with these. The next step will be to put in the vertical studs and screw them into these. I'm still thinking what the best way to screw them in is. I might get some metal kind of latches to use, like stuff like this. Probably not those ones specifically, but I'll probably go to a hardware store, find something that will help me put in the vertical studs and hold them in place. I'm thinking 3 or 4 of them across will be good enough on each side. But I'm pretty happy with this progress for today. Tomorrow, I don't know, tackling something tomorrow. But I'm pretty happy with this. The floor I'm pretty happy with, making progress on this. Once I have the vertical studs in, I think I might start filling in some insulation. But we'll see. That's a battle for another day. Here we have those vertical studs laid out in kind of the spacing I'm thinking. So I have 4 of them here. I could go with 3, but I figure these don't really weigh all that much. So having the extra bit of structural soundness at the expense of just a tiny bit more weight will probably be worth it. This is kind of the spacing I'm thinking, about a foot between each. What I need to do now is I need to take these and trim them just a little bit, cut them a little bit shorter. As you can see down here, the ones by the wheel well especially, I'm gonna have to take off like a foot or so, and then the taller ones that aren't going into the wheel well will probably only be trimmed by a couple inches, but I need to trim these down a little bit, and then I should be able to just screw them in, and then I have my framing in for the wall. Here we go. All right, so here we are. I have these studs in now, both horizontal and vertical on both sides now. I'm pretty happy with them. They feel pretty sturdy. It's not like I'm going to be hanging thousands and thousands of pounds on these things. I'm just going to be putting some cabinets and stuff, and it's not going to be a tremendous amount of weight, and they feel sturdy enough that they should be able to handle it no problem. But I feel like this is a big milestone, because at this point, I'm trying to just think, what should I do next? I need to think about this, but I'm thinking what I should do is put in the actual aesthetic floor and start building those cabinets, sinks, whatever. Build that stuff. And then from there, once I have kind of the appliances and things I plan on putting in place, I can put in the batteries, the inverter, stuff like that, and I can start running wire through the walls, through the roof. I plan on the roof, I'm guessing, will be one of the last things I do. And once I have the wire going where I need, that should be about when it'll be okay to stuff in insulation and seal up the walls. That's what I'm thinking. That's what makes sense to me right now. That might change around a little bit, but that's the gist of what I'm thinking right now. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this. Looking forward to where I am like a week from now. Catch you later.